morning and happy Monday, everybody. As usual, I hope everybody had a great weekend. You got a lot done. You know, we are at that time of year where we are jumping into the huge AEP. So if you're one of those agents that's doing AEP, good luck with AEP starting up here in a few days. Now, with that all being said, I thought, you know what, what's something that we should talk about that's going to be very effective? We are having a lot of our clients receive right now their cancellation notices or plan update notices or however you want to put it from all their carriers, and their premiums are raising on average of 55%, which is ridiculous. I'll tell you, I know my phone is just ringing off the hook. And one of the things that we're doing now is we're actually setting up our clients to talk to them about their new policies. We all know that with every time a client doesn't show up for their appointment that we set with them, it kind of costs us money. You know what I mean? So they don't show up. That, 15 minutes or half hour, we could have helped another client, which is very important to us. So I thought what we're going to talk about this time is how can we actually make our clients show up to their appointments. I'm going to go through a few different tips and tricks, a few of these that I have hit before. Some of these are also from other people who've been in the industry for a while, so I'll tell you a few of the things that I'll hit today. I don't personally believe 100% in, but I want to give you options. That is the great thing about sales, is what works for you may not work for somebody else. We all have different personality types and different things that we're going to go through, so that's why I want to give different perspectives on what we're going to do. So starting off, I thought we'd start with a pretty dang great quote that I think is 100% accurate. Your mission, again, is to break down your prospect's resistance to an appointment by challenging them to think differently about their problems and priorities. 100% true. Why do people not show up to their appointment? Because they don't have any reason to. We didn't give them quality reasons to. So we need to make them think, give them that challenge. So again, happy Monday, everybody. So happy Motivation Monday. If you've seen the emails that go out, you know that these are a quick, action-packed 15 to 30 minutes to get you a few tips and tricks to go out throughout the week. So what we're going to do is we're going to start out from the tip of the week. I know a lot of these are going to be dying down with everything that's going to be happening, starting with AEP and OEP. We're going to take a look at what the sales trends are. We'll take a look at who our sales leaders are. And in the end, of course, we're going to end with the sales technique, which is a few tips and tricks to help making your clients show up. So starting out here with the tip of the week from the previous week, it's going to be about that, if I can get it to move here, it will be about that NatGen short-term policy. So how they had the 3x4s, just some of the things we went over last week is the stipulations behind it. If you do have any questions on that, though, feel free to reach out. I've gotten a few emails already today. Again, the email address is training@ahcpsales.com. The tip of the week for this upcoming week is, even though, yes, we are starting into the big open enrollment, keep in mind a lot of the carriers still have those sales incentives. We do post those sales incentives online. If you can look at the bottom left-hand corner of the screen, it's going to say, hey, this is where the sales incentives are listed on our website there at ahcpsales.com/current-sales-incentives. Here's just a few of them that are going on. I just took a snippet, so it's not all of them. It's just letting you know about the NatGen one and the Pivot Health one that is going on. So keep in mind, keep those going. I know I've had some agents who've made ridiculously great bonuses off of that. So just keep your mind open to that. So let's take a look really quick here at the trends that are hitting the market. Last week with our leading products, it was kind of gray area to start with. So we had a decrease in short-term medical and a decrease that was going on in fixed benefit. Not super surprising with everything that has been going on with all the natural disasters, especially in the big, huge areas with large pockets of population like Florida and Texas. Nothing shocking about it having a decrease. I hope everybody's friends and family there are safe, though. We had no change really in the Medicare program yet, because we all know that we can shop them right now, but can we really enroll them? No, they have to have an SEP to do that. So there's really going to be no change coming up until probably next week or the week after. Taking a look at the supplements, we had a decrease in accident, which is kind of shocking. We haven't had a decrease in accident in a while there, but we had a very, very healthy increase in critical illness sold. Still really leading there with that CBL, the Colorado Bankers Life. You should take a look at that product again if you're not appointed. Really great company there. And then with the dental, it will be Golden Rule. We had a healthy increase there as well. Now to take a look at who our sales leaders are. If anybody is shocked by this first name, you should kind of hit yourself. Nothing too big going on there. So Katya, as usual, very good job. Kudos on taking the gold. Robert Swander taking silver there, and Patrick Connor taking bronze with our limited benefit sales. So those are people who are really kicking butt there in those. An example like the Foundation Health. That's what a lot of them are leading that product with. So good job. Keep in mind, with those limited benefit sales, you can sell them as either a leading product or really kick butt supplement. Feel free to go both ways. I know I'll sell them both ways that way. And here with the short-term medical, we had kind of an upset this week. A lot of fun there. So taking gold there is Jason Packard, taking silver is Wendy Larson, and taking bronze is Katia Santamaria. So what we're going to talk about now, getting into, is actually going to be increasing the show rate for appointment setting. Now, a few of you, there are new people on the phone, so I'm going to hit this kind of quick. The concept of the sales funnel. Okay, so if you've been around for a long time, you know how this kind of works. You know, what we want to do is we want to get as many things shoved into the top of the funnel, because at the bottom of the funnel is our sale, right? So one of the things, especially this time of year, where I hear agents complain a lot about is saying, hey, you know what, I've set up all these appointments. These people called me up saying, hey, I got these renewal notices. I'm super worried. You know, my premiums are going up $500 and I absolutely can't afford that. And so I'm calling you for your help. They said, you know what, the client even reached out to me. They specifically reached out to me. Why are they not showing up? I get it. They reached out to you, but who else did they reach out to? Okay. Client relationships are, it's not a monogamous relationship. Unfortunately, we want to feel that way, you know, with everything that goes on in life. We feel like if one person reaches out to us, this is a one-on-one relationship. We've made this really deep personal connection. Yes, that's great. But if somebody else swooped in and cleaned it up, I'm sorry, that's just kind of the way it works. So they say, I want to make sure that I can get as many people to show up to these appointments because I'm setting aside my time. I will tell you, my agents, you know, we all have professional Facebooks, those kinds of things. They're all posting this, actually this last week, saying, hey, you know what, it's starting to become that time of year. You're getting these notices, you're getting very, very panicked. Call me, I can help. I love seeing those types of things, but you need to give them a good, I hate to use this word because it's an old sales term, a good hook. Why should they actually show up? So taking them out of the sales, let's kind of reverse it. You need to have 2 pitches, okay? You need to have 5 appointments. So, which takes about 50 calls. So it's saying for every 10 calls, you're going to set 1 appointment. For every other appointment, you will actually be able to pitch. And out of every other pitch, you're going to actually make a sale. That is just typical sales statistics. Just take a look at it. You can take a look anywhere online. These are just normal numbers, okay? So if you can increase out of your calls that you actually set, this middle section, you're going to be doing yourself a lot of good, because then that is the section, if you can kind of see, that is the keystone of getting it, right? If you can make 1 million calls and you can set, you know, 99 or 990,000 appointments, that's great. But if none of them show, you've completely wasted your time. So if you can actually get people to show, that's going to be working smarter, not harder, reducing the number of times calls that you actually have to make, using logic that way. If you can get people to show up, then we can tighten up the pitch. That's a completely different story, okay? So I've learned some tricks. I've been around for quite some time, especially in this industry for sales. I have had quite a few sales teams in this industry, so let's talk about a few things I've had people do to increase this appointment area so they can make more sales, okay? So just wanted to start you off with the numbers. Let's start about thinking of fixing that keystone. We can talk later about the pitch and later about the close. Okay. So one of the first things that seems really stupid to people, and I was reading about a lot of this last night just for my fun because I'm a nerd like that, is that 2% of cold calls result in appointments. So increasing your contacts obviously is going to increase the number of appointments that you can set. We're going to start with that part of the funnel first, okay? 2% of cold calls on an appointment, meaning that takes a ton of calls and a ton of leads. We pay for leads. We don't want to have to use a ton of them to get the job done. So small things can make a big impact on both expenses for buying leads, but also, you know, just commission. So the first one that I love is when people say, you know what, I'm not interested. And the agent goes, okay, have a great day, click. No. I love it when they're not interested. I love it when this isn't what they want or what's not going on. That's actually a lot of fun, right? As salespeople, things get into emotion. We have the same thing happen over and over and over and over. Enjoy the one-offs. This is a one-off. This is when you should say, hey, you know what? I get to actually put on my sales hat and I get to have a lot of fun today. So don't hang up on a no. Ask a few more questions. Why are they not interested? okay? This is often a great conversation starter, right? One of my favorite ones is I have an extremely successful sales leader, okay? One of his best clients he ever had was from this. They said, you know what? You can't help me. I'm not interested. He goes, whoa, stop. What do you mean you can't help me? Tell me more about your situation. Let me see if I can get you the right thing. Just wound up pre-ACA, that they had extremely complex underwriting, and he had to do some finicky stuff to make sure the client could get it. No one can help me. Ask why. Why can nobody help you? Why is their situation unique? Okay? I get it, they're not interested, but why? Why do they put their information online? Why do they want it? Right? If you can get someone to answer the phone and they tell you to go away or go to someplace way down dark, that's okay. Why? Okay, be the 2-year-old in you. We all want to be that annoying 2-year-old. We've all had them. We all know how it's like when they sit there, why, Dad? Why? Enjoy the whys. Ask the whys. Let them know. That's the one thing you can take away from today. That's extremely powerful. When someone says, you can't help me, why? I'm not interested, why? Here's some other things, just some technical things you can do. Try calling in off hours, right? If you are only licensed in one state, that's completely fine. You can be extremely successful, but you may want to take a look at trying to get a state in every time zone. So you can call on off hours on different times throughout the day. That way you have things to do. Get the big states, get Texas, get Arizona. When you get to Pacific, it gets kind of rough there. But get different states that are going on. That way you can call on their off hours. You can wake up early if you want to. You can call on them. Calling on weekends sometimes can be a really good fit too. You want to try to contact people during their times. Again, keep in mind there are things like bubble sheets if you want to find out what your best times are to call. What that's going to do is it's going to have 1 through 30 listed on every hour. You put a check mark through every call that you make. You put a circle on the calls you actually contact people. Some people like to do, hey, how many sets did I actually get? However it works. That way you can take a look at your effort versus your results. I know, sales, we hate doing technical things like this, but you know what? I found out that one of my agents, their best hours was 10 a.m. Okay, worst times statistically are 11 and 2, but it might be different for you. Who knows? Here's another thing too. Right away, you need to tell them how you helped others. Your first goal is to help the customers, okay? Keep this in mind. Prospects will instantly resist setting an appointment with you if they think you're in it for just you. Right up front in the first few seconds, for your first few contacts, you must exude service, not selfishness. This is extremely important because before you open your mouth, your prospect is already in defense mode, okay? They pick up the phone, they're trying to defend themselves. You need to let them know what you do and how you help others. I know this is something that we're going to hit later, but also let them know that your services are free, right? A lot of people think, whoa, you're trying to sell me? No, absolutely not. What I'm pulling online is the same that you are going to find on that carrier's website. What you get from working with me as a broker is my expertise, right? I am contracted with however many you are, 20, 170, however many different carriers you are. You get to use my expertise. Right, that is what happens. I don't get paid by you, I get paid by the insurance company to help bring them the right clients. Also, gatekeeper, okay? We can talk a lot about the gatekeeper on a different day, but if you walk into the gatekeeper and you sound threatening, be that the wife and the husband's the one who put the information in, like, let's be honest, the wife might be putting it in using the husband's name. That's another reason to be nice to the gatekeeper, okay? Gatekeeper is someone who you need to try to get to know a bit. You need to learn how to love them. Yes, they're a beast. So get to know them, get to ask a few questions, try to find out if it's a business number, see if there's different departments that maybe you can call or a different number you can call. If it's a wife, maybe find out when the husband's working. Get to know them, maybe get to know the situation. Poke the gatekeeper. Yes, we said the gatekeeper's a beast. Poke the beast. It's a lot of fun that way. Okay, that's just increasing context. Let's talk a little bit about making them remember. Okay. Here's one thing right away. People say, you know what, I can get a hold of people, I can set the appointment. Well, did they remember it, and did you give them a good reason why? Here's the first thing. Give them 2 choices and let them pick. Okay. It's an old sales trick from 1.5 million years ago. Pick the odd times and let them pick. Maybe that works, maybe it doesn't, but it worked great for me. They'd say, hey, you know what I have here? I have either a 10:15 or a 10:45 available tomorrow. Which works best for you? Odd time and another odd time, and then the word which. Do that, because it's not saying, hey, here's an open-ended thing that throw me back a whole bunch of random times that are going to work for you. Always be busy. So if they say, hey, that doesn't work, but all I have is 11, be like, you know what, unfortunately, 11 doesn't work, but I do have an 11:15. I mean, with a client, sadly, from 11 to 11:15. Which. Use that word. Which is an extremely powerful word when it comes to setting an appointment. I have this or that, which works best for you. That says, hey, you know what, I'm extremely busy. Here's the only opportunities that I have available. Here's another one. If you don't do this now, do it starting the second you get off this call. Okay, so I get that, John, that what we're going to do is we're going to talk about this health insurance appointment, blah, blah, blah. Grab a pen and paper and then listen for them to do it. You're just going to hear them wrestling through stuff, trying to find a pen and paper. That's great. That way you can have them write it down. If you don't hear them writing it down, man, you may want to double set that time block, honestly. Because you know what you're going to do? You're going to have them repeat it. You are honestly going to have them repeat it. And it's going to be awkward when you have that slacky customer. I understand if there's some customer who say, you know what, I'm in a car right now, I can't do it. You say, great, what I'm going to do is I'm going to call you back and leave it as a voicemail for you. So please don't answer the call, that your next call coming in. Because that's what you should do. Call back, leave them a voicemail with your name, the time, number that they can reach back if anything happens, if it changes. But have them write it down. Have them grab a pen and paper, have them write it down, and have them repeat it. You are busy, right? Every time that someone doesn't show up, you are losing money. Also, give them homework, right? I hear a lot of people saying, I'm hesitant to do it to my client. Are you kidding me? I just want them to show up. What happens if they don't do their homework? They're not going to do their homework. That's okay. But for the ones that do, A, that's a guaranteed sale. B, they're going to say, hey, you know what? I couldn't do it. I couldn't find it. It's stuck in their head. That's the point of the homework. What do you want from a client? You want to know what their previous policy is, right? You want to know if you can do better, be better, or have something comparable for them. Give them something to do. Great, you know what you're going to do, John? I want you to go find your old policy. A lot of times you can just go to the carrier website, just type in your information, log in, and get that policy for me. And what we're going to do is we're just going to compare to make sure we can get you a better rate. I understand that policy is going up 50% this year, but you know what the nice thing about working with me is, A, it's free. Second off, I'm contracted with a lot of different carriers. All the carriers are very comparable products, so let's make sure we're going to get you the best cost-effective thing for your situation. So just something to keep in mind, guys. Have them write it down, give them homework. Take away those two things. Those are extremely, extremely, extremely important. Okay, send reminders. If you're not doing this, maybe something that you guys should start thinking about. So first off, send reminders. Text appointment times, okay? Tell them, like, you know what you're going to do is you're going to actually get a text an hour before the appointment just reminding you that it's going to happen. If not, just respond back. Yes, you can text them the appointment time. You've already confirmed that you're going to do it. Just don't send out mass texts, because if you send out a mass text, you could get slapped by the state. But individual ones are fine. Have an assistant call and confirm. When do you hire an assistant? Right before you can afford it. That's the way that you're going to work hard to make sure that person gets paid. Second off, if you don't have an assistant, do you have a friend who does the same job that you do? Right? A lot of times we jump into this with friends. Have them call. I used to do this all the time. When I first started out in this business, 15 plus years ago, what we would do is we'd actually just switch our appointment calendars and just call, just to give us something different to do. Just say, hey, you know what? I actually worked with a girl, her name is Shannon. Say, Shannon, you call mine, I'm going to call yours. What we're going to do is we're just going to call and make sure that that person is going to show up. And you know, once or twice, we get someone who says, I actually can't do that time. Can we move it to a later date? Thinking it's the assistant, this person's not aggressive. And we do the exact same thing. Make sure that they have their homework. Make sure that they're writing it down. Also, make sure to email them an appointment time with contact and homework. And say, you know what you're going to do? You're going to get an automated email. It's going to let you know exactly what time your appointment is. It's also going to let you know kind of what we talked about today. If you don't see it right away, please go to your junk mail. If you don't find it, just give me a quick call. Those people call back saying, hey, I can't find your email. Great. You know for sure that appointment's going to show up. Okay, and kind of like that quote that we talked about in the beginning, have them realize. You want someone to show up? Have them actually realize what is going on in this whole situation, okay? Excuse me. So first off, if you can talk about it right away, when you're going to set the appointment, they say, yeah, you know what, I got this premium increase. It's absolutely ridiculous. Well, when are you looking for your plan to start? Are you looking for it just to flow smoothly through the next year? Yeah, so January 1st. Got it. If you're actually interested in January 1st, this is something we need to get started with right away. Everybody's going to get in January 1st. Those carriers are going to get completely overloaded. Let's make sure to get your application in before. So just help them Let them know that the start date's quickly approaching, because that little stress is the truth. If you've been in this industry for a while, you know those carriers get completely overwhelmed, and it's a horrible time of year for everybody. That's one of the downfalls of the ACA. Let the client know that, hey, if this is something that you don't want to have a gap and you want continuous coverage, we need to get started ASAP. Ask them about savings. Also let them know what you do is free, right? What are they looking to save, right? What, are they interested in actually saving money? You have other options than just major medical. That's the thing. A lot of people think, hey, all I know is major medical. These are the words I'm comfortable with. I get that. We have a lot of cost-saving options. Can we explore a few of those? Would that be something you're interested in? If they're telling you to go to that dark place down south, why did they put their name online? I get that. That's a very, very powerful question, but what made you actually go and put your name online and reach out? What were you so disgusted with? They had to be disgusted with something that they actually went online. They went online knowing they would get a call. Again, the 2-year-old, why? And again, you're busy. It's this time of year. Honestly, if they're not serious, it might be one of those things where you just say, I'm going to put you on a bucket to call later. We need to move on. I have a lot of clients I need to deal with. So give them a little stress. Ask them about the start date. Ask them about savings. Let them know what you're doing. It's free. Grab that pen and paper. These are things that are important. Also, one thing right away, I know we all know this, but be prepared for objections. Objections mean that they're thinking those are very positive things. You want those objections, okay? So objections means they're thinking. If they're going to throw them to you, that's when you know that you could have a really solid appointment to show up. Also, that reschedules are normal. When clients are going to answer the phone, things are going to come up. Things have come up in your life. Things have come up in mine. We just need to know that reschedules are normal and that we can set them out. Again, though, with reschedules that you are busy, right? If they're doing 3+ reschedules, I would start thinking a little hesitant about that client. I know I had clients saying, what you're going to have to do is you're going to have to call me right before it's ready. Going to be good for you. Same day appointments only for you, John. I'm sorry. You've already taken up 3 of my appointment slots. It's my busiest time of year. At this point, you're starting to cost me money. Send a reminder email, as we talked about before, and don't forget to ask for the appointment. Don't think the client's going to always ask you. A lot of people right in the beginning are afraid to ask, do you want to meet with me? Is this going to be something that you want to do? Don't be afraid about it. That's exactly why you're in sales. This is why we do what we do. Okay. Also know that follow-up. On average, 25% of meeting schedules are no-shows. Generally speaking, 50% of these no-shows can be reschedules. That's 12% business that you could get back. This is simply part of the process, so don't get discouraged, okay? Remember, you're not scheduling a qualified sales call, but just simply changing the context of your initial pitch. Be prepared to professionally handle no-shows and focus on getting the prospect to recommit their time, okay? No sales are people who pick up the phone saying they're not interested. Hey, you know what? That's just part of the process. Give them a bit of time and always follow up. Keep your no sales and your no sales in one bucket, your no shows in another, because I know when I'm having a bad day, I like to call them because A, those people typically answer a lot, and B, I can usually get a few people out of them. They just make me smile. Those are my smile buckets. They make me feel better. Or the ominous reschedulers. This is one of our least favorites. This is a person you need to take down, tackle them. You have to get a little parentish with them. If you have that person who's rescheduling 30 times, get on your mean hat. That's something you're just going to have to do. That way you can keep doing what you're doing and not wasting their time on the chase. With the ominous reschedulers, let them know what's going on and why that you're not happy with what's happening, but you don't want to be too scared with them. But a lot of times these are just drifty people that you need to say, hey, you know what? This is the situation. You want to get this done. We need to do it now. If this is something you're not interested in, you need to let me know so I can take you off my list. So just something to think about. Well, we went through a few things. Hopefully you took away a few tips or tricks. If you want any help or if you want to follow up on any of that information, do let me know. It's going to be at training@ahcpsales.com. You can email me directly. Say, hey, Dan, I have a few questions. Keep in mind, all of these are recorded and they will be posted in our training library coming up. Usually waits until about the Wednesday after. So it'll be posted in the library in a few days. Again, that'd be at the ahcpsales.com. Click on training. It'll be pre-recorded webinars for you. So if you have anything that you want me to go over, please let me know too. But if not, I thought we'd end with a pretty good quote here. An educated consumer is our best customer. It's the absolute truth. We want to make sure that they're educated with everything that's going on, how they can save money, and how these products work. If you have any questions, comments, please let me know. If not, have a great Monday.